Yeah, so I'm Jake Hill, and I'm just here having a good time. This is my first King of Clubs event, and enjoying it a lot. Proud to be sort of representing my home club, Eastbourne, which has been good to me for the last year. So it's nice to represent them and enjoy a good day out here at Colchester.
How long have you been doing this RC racing?
I'm fairly new to it in comparison to the likes of Basil and Billy, but yeah, I started probably last summer at Eastbourne. It was I just sort of got back into it. I did it a lot when I was sort of 10, 11, when I was a lot younger, before brushless motors were really even invented at that point, or at least well used. So yeah, I just wanted to get back into it. I've always had a love for RC stuff. And over lockdown, I suppose, I just grew a love again for RC cars and wanted to go racing, basically. So that's what sort of got me back into it, and yeah, I'm just enjoying it. It's nice to be back doing it and just having a bit of a break, really, and get to relax and let my hair down and yeah, just go racing with some really good people.
And you're actually a professional racing driver yourself. So you tell us a bit about that as how did you get into it? What do you race?
So I'm currently driving for Team BMW Rocket MB Motorsport, which is basically a factory BMW team in the British Touring Car Championship. So very, very proud to be driving for BMW. It's been a lifetime goal to achieve that. And how I got into racing real cars, I suppose you could say, is it's quite a different one maybe to some others. So my dad used to race a little bit when he was younger, and at the time I was only young, sort of 6, 7. But he then took on a role in commentating for ITV Sport on the British Touring Car support races on ITV. So at that time I was about 10, 11, and I'd go along with him because I love racing, obviously. And he got me a little weekend job, being a wheel washer and a car cleaner for a team called Redline Racing, which run the Porsche Carrera Cup cars. They run a team of 4 Carrera Cup cars. And I loved it, it was a good way to earn a little bit of money, and at the time I was still racing RC stuff then, so I'd just spend it all on shells that I'd probably smash to pieces. And then basically during that time I stayed with that team doing my little weekend job for 2 or 3 years, and then a series called Ginetta Juniors came onto the touring car package, which is a series for 14, 17-year-old kids, and I desperately wanted to do it. I'd done a little bit of go-karting, only sort of a year, but to be honest, budget restraints and stuff stopped me from doing exactly what we wanted to do. And basically what I'd done is I'd sort of befriended the guys that were racing in Carrera Cup, and we had a lot of AM drivers in the team, and obviously they're normally wealthy businessmen. And I sort of clubbed around a little bit, and they agreed to give me my first budget to do the winter series of Ginetta Junior Championship, in which I went on to get a podium in my first race and do quite well. And then yeah, it's sort of that helped me get the sponsorship really to go and do it properly, and 12 years later here we are driving for BMW.
So you literally grew up in racing paddocks.
Yeah.
But this is the pits is your home.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, just being a normal kid. Sure, Dad knew a lot of people from when he was racing, so of course that does help. I didn't have it all handed to me completely off my own back, but yeah, there was no family money like a lot of professional drivers had when they're growing up. So it is definitely harder, and yeah, we just grafted and never let anything stop us from doing what we wanted to do, and yeah, we got to the top. So
shoot for the stars. Why not?
Exactly.
So this racing paddock versus say a Brands Hatch, touring car paddock.
Yeah.
Are there any similarities in what you experience?
Well, I mean, listen, it's in some ways yes, because there's a structure to the event. There's qualifying, your heats. Just like there is at any racing paddock. Doesn't matter what you're racing. And as you see me doing and Billy doing, you've got to do a lot of car prep and look after the things that you're racing. It doesn't matter whether they're just a toy to some people or if it's the real thing that you jump in and drive. There's a lot of similarities between it all. People may think this is silly, but a lot of us love it, and that's why we're here doing it. But it doesn't mean that it's any less important to us, does it? So,
I imagine it's quite a lot faster and easier to change the toe or the roll centre on one of these than it is on a 2-ton, whatever they weigh, full size car.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, it's a lot easier to work on. in fact, it's not too dissimilar from a single seater, to be honest.
Yes,
because they're very accessible. So, but yeah, it's good fun, and I just do this purely for fun. You know, I like to think I do an alright job at it, and you know, I do strive to. You know, I think we all have that bit of. You know,
racer.
Yeah, that racer instinct. You know, that's why we all do it as well. We want to see success, don't we? Love striving for it. So, of course, that's still ingrained in me. Whether I'm doing, you know, just playing with RC stuff for fun, or if I'm doing it for real.
Still get the butterflies.
Yeah, very much so. You know, and if anything, this is a good training tool for your reactions for the real stuff. You know, because they're so fast. And it's a great trainer, I find, for your hand-eye coordination and obviously how quick the thing is through the corner. So it's great for that side of things. I can use it for a bit of an aid for that.
And you mentioned earlier that this was your first King of Clubs sort of regional championship race.
Yeah.
It's not what I noticed. You've done very well. You've made it right up into the A final.
Yeah.
You've had some good races, running good pace. Do you think your career as a racing driver helps you with this, or is it an inherent but different skill set that you just happen to have as well, coincidentally?
You definitely carry a lot of understanding about maybe, you know, what the car's doing, and if there's something wrong with it, oversteer, understeer, or it's doing something a bit unnatural, then you obviously have an idea of what you do in the real car to solve that versus what you do with the RC stuff, and some of it carries over, some of it doesn't. I've learned an awful lot along my year and a half of racing RC stuff properly again. And some of it makes total sense, and other stuff's a bit weird. But you get your head around it, and you understand why it does that. So yeah, I mean, it's just good fun, you know, and I really enjoy it.
Good. Well, thanks very much.
No worries.
Cheers.